Hello, and thanks for joining me. It's another beautiful day here in Datcha, and my husband thought it'd be fun to pack a little picnic and head out to explore a bit more of the surrounding area. I made a little pasta salad for a late lunch, and of course, my husband had to bring some tea to go. If he doesn't have tea after eating, he can't function, so it's a real necessity. He even has a mini electric kettle in the car, just in case of emergency. We'll call it an emergent tea. We wanted to venture a bit further west and see some areas that we haven't been to before. Datcha is a peninsula where the Mediterranean and Aegean seas meet, and it runs east to west with the city of Datcha pretty much in the middle. So we started from here and headed with a destination in mind of Murdala Bay, which is situated on the northern side. The landscape here is very mountainous. Even looking back at the footage, I don't think the video does justice to just how tall they are. The wonderful part of the mountains here are the number of beautiful lookout spots they provide of the sea below. Getting high up here also gives you a fabulous view of just some of the many Greek islands nearby. If you ever look at a map, you'll notice that the south and west parts of Turkey are spotted with a lot of nearby islands, but most of those are actually Greek and not Turkish. So far, I've only been to Chios, but I'm hoping to explore some more of them like nearby coasts and roads. Once you leave the city of Datcha and go further west towards the end of the peninsula, there aren't any more large cities. There are a handful of villages scattered throughout, but they're all pretty small. Datcha itself is quite isolated. The nearest large city of Marmaris is still an hour's drive from the city of Datcha. The peninsula is also quite narrow in some areas with only one road in and out, so you really do get the sense sometimes that you're on an island more than anything. After taking our time driving through the winding mountain roads, we pulled over to have a little roadside picnic alongside this dirt road next to an olive grove, and there were views of the mountains and the valley below. Not a single car drove past the entire time we were there either, so it was really peaceful. We enjoyed a little bite to eat, and of course, Fig was right there, waiting for anything she could get her little paws onto. We continued forward on our journey to the Murdala Bay, but we started to become a little weary of the path that we were on. From everything that we could see on our map and what Google Maps was showing, it looked like there was only one road down to this bay. However, this road, if we can even call it that, was more like a dirt trail. It was extremely bumpy in some spots, and because of recent rain, there were also portions that were fairly washed out. Not to mention the path was taking you along the very edge of a steep mountainside, so it felt like you were clinging for dear life. At one point, my husband thought maybe we should turn around, but once we got over the hill and saw the sea on the other side, we decided to keep on going. The entire way down, we saw maybe 3 cars pass, and it took nearly 40 minutes going very slowly and carefully over the rough terrain to get to the bottom. Despite the rough road, though, the scenery was absolutely breathtaking. Being that high up with the windows open and breathing in the fresh mountain air while looking down at the sea below, it just couldn't get any better. We also noticed that the landscape on this northern side of the mountain was quite different from the southern side of the mountain that we were on before. The vegetation was quite thick, and there were a lot of taller trees on this side. Finally, we made it down to the bay. Murdala itself was quite small. I'm not sure if it's even classified as a village, but there were a few houses and a guest accommodation that we saw. But other than that, we didn't see much going on. And I'm not sure if it's just because of how remote the area is or because of the season, but we only saw 2 people the entire time that we were there. Regardless, though, we got to enjoy a little walk along the beach with Fig and had views of both the Greek island of Kos and the Bodrum Peninsula of Turkey in the distance. Our time at Murdala Bay was brief, but to be honest, the drive there was a lot more fun than the beach itself. We decided to head out because the sun was going to be setting and we were a little bit worried about a dark drive up this scary mountain road. But the ride up proved to be even more beautiful than on the way there, as the skies were painted with all sorts of bright colors as day turned to night. I love going on a Sunday drive like this with no particular activity in mind or plan to stick to, other than enjoying the beautiful surroundings. It was a perfect way to end the week and start anew.
All we really have is time. All we really have is time. I don't wanna waste it on anybody. Take it with anybody but you.
I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you'd like to see more from my perspective as an American living in Turkey, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and giving this video a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, thanks!